We're also joined now by John Roos. John, of course, the former U.S. ambassador to Japan under President Obama. Mr. Ambassador, thanks for your time this afternoon, sir.
Pleasure to be here.
Presumably you heard the entire exchange there between Mr. Trump and Mr. Abe. Anything in particular stand out from that exchange to you more than the others?
Well, I think it was a win-win scenario for both President Trump and Prime Minister Abe. I think, as Steve just said, on the security front, the Japanese were looking for reaffirmation that the U.S. would stand behind the security alliance, and they got that. And President Trump even thanked Japan for housing the U.S. troops, where before he was saying Japan wasn't paying enough. As Steve just indicated, the backing up of the security guarantee for the Senkaku Islands, where there's a dispute between China and Japan, was very important for the Japanese to hear. And the overall alliance discussions that the two leaders had were very, very important. On the economic front, I think they pretty much punted to the future. I think it is significant that President Trump did not call Japan a currency manipulator. I was a little worried when he started to make those references in connection to China that he was going to head in that direction with Japan, but he did not. Prime Minister Abe had the opportunity to talk about all the jobs that Japan has created in the United States and how it wants to further invest in it. Earlier today at the Chamber of Commerce, he indicated that Japan has created 840,000 jobs and wants to create more. So I think it was a coup from Prime Minister Abe's point of view, but I also think President Trump said the right things today.
You also were a big supporter of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP. It was interesting to hear the Prime Minister asked about TPP, and he pretty much dodged that question with President Trump standing next to him. What happens to that trade pact now?
Well, I think it's pretty much dead, as President Trump said. But you noticed in Prime Minister Abe's initial comments, he talked about the principles of TPP without talking about TPP. He talked about free and fair trade. He talked about constraints on state-owned enterprises. He talked about protection of intellectual property. Then the first questioner asked specifically about TPP, and he dodged it. And then the second question came up again on TPP, and he addressed it. Prime Minister Abe put a lot of his personal political capital on TP under pressure from the United States. And they made a lot of concessions to the United States. So I don't think Japan has given up on the principles of TPP. And I think, as the Prime Minister indicated, that will be part of the future economic dialogue being led by the Finance Minister Aso and the Vice President Pence.
Ambassador John Roos. Ambassador, thank you for your time this afternoon. Do appreciate you.